All right, well, let's talk about last week's events.
Okay, let's do that.
Let me preface it on my part first.
Okay.
And then we'll pick it up from there. So I left the CMS Crystal Towers at about noon Central Time.
Okay.
Headed over to Cleveland. Packed up CMS 1 with all the gear, mixing board, microphones, mic stands, tables, chairs, banners, T-shirts, you name it. Had it all packed into the car.
Right.
Headed on over to Cleveland.
Right.
Headed straight to the club.
Right.
Got over there right at about 6 o'clock Eastern time.
Sure.
Nobody was around. The doors were open. Just started unloading the car, setting up. I noticed your computer bag and everything was already there, so you were around the club somewhere, and the bands were loading in the back.
Right. Mm-hmm.
So I started setting up the equipment, plugging in, getting everything set up, whatnot. Not that there's a lot to that detail, but just basically ready to do the show.
Right, sure.
So we get set up, and we think at that point that we're going to be able to connect, get set up for the internet, be able to broadcast the show, but alas, it wasn't to be. We discussed that earlier in the show, that we basically worked on it for close to 2 hours.
Yeah.
Just didn't happen. So we just decided we were going to record the show, just be done with it.
Yep.
And you basically went about your business being the social butterfly that you are.
I guess.
And went about, hanging out with your friends, the bands, and, whatnot, while I basically kind of hung out at the broadcast table.
Right.
Taking care of the recording and making sure the levels and everything were right and so on and so forth.
Sure.
And we started the show at 9 Eastern time. We were ready to go, regardless of the fact that we were able to stream or not. But there was a nice crowd in the club, so we were going to entertain the people in the club.
Yes.
Well, by this time, being the fact that it was a festive situation where people were coming out to celebrate your birthday, they were there to start buying you drinks and shots.
They were. And then it went downhill from there.
And that's kind of where I left it, because between the start of the show, which we did a little intro,
yeah,
and then the start of the bands, I didn't really see a whole lot of you the rest of the night.
No, I'm sorry.
But I have to give honorable mention to some of the people that did show up out there. Our good friend MOL was there.
Mm-hmm.
Came out to the show, hung out. Our good friend Chipper was there.
Yep.
My good friend Marty came out later after the kids and the wife were gone to sleep.
Yeah, I saw seeing Marty.
He made that very clear that he had to make sure the wife and the kid were asleep before he snuck out of the house.
Yeah, oof. Sorry to hear that, sir.
Our good friend Chantel showed up.
Yes.
She was not upset about the whole Ian Hunter thing like we thought she would be.
And if I'm not mistaken, and I could very well be, she might be the only lady in the club that I knew that I did not insult.
No, you did not tear her up like you did everybody else. Let's see. Who else showed up that I want to throw mention to? Oh, our fans from Detroit.
That's who I wanted to throw a mention to. The ones that drove down from Detroit just to meet us.
On their motorcycle, nonetheless.
That was really, really cool. I don't remember their names. I don't know if you do, but they were very cool, and they certainly helped get me started because they bought me shots of Jaeger.
Okay.
So they, in fact, I believe they bought me both a shot of Jaeger and a double.
Nice.
Screwdriver.
Well, I threw them both a CMS T-shirt because, they deserved it for riding down on their motorcycle from Detroit just to come to the club.
That's right. Of course, Jackal One was there.
Jackal One was there. Our good friend, who else was there aside from the bands? Just people who showed up.
Dude. I mean, those were like the main characters from the show wise that were there, but there was a lot of people that I knew personally. I mean, obviously it was my birthday, so a lot of people that are my personal friends were out.
Right.
And you're right. At the start, it was festive, kinda. We made it festive, but as you know, I was clearly pissed off as all could be by the time the show started.
Right, just because you were frustrated that we could not get connected and do the show like we had anticipated.
Right, and I mean, clearly, you made the drive all the way down, and then, basically you drove all the way down to see fucking 3 Cleveland bands. I mean, that's really what it ended up being.
Which was fine because I don't get out as often as I would like anymore, and, just circumstances, but it was fun because, obviously I have friends and family in Akron.
Sure.
And I saw the ex in Akron.
You saw your ex?
Yes.
The one that starts with a K?
Yes.
Really?
Yeah, she stopped at my dad's house.
Let's explore that for a minute. How did that go?
Fine. We don't have any animosity. It just didn't work out. That's it's just no fighting or hatefulness or anger there. It just she stopped over and visited with me and my dad, and we hung out and we talked and shot the shit, and there was really no more to it than that.
All right, I'm just curious. That's an interesting development. Why did she not come out to the show?
Probably because she's married.
Oh, but she get the guy that's fucking her with her.
I don't know. That
would have been okay.
I don't know the answer.
I was curious.
But she basically lives, not even a mile from my dad's house, so she stopped by, and we.
A husband with her when she stopped by?
No, of course not.
So therefore, she could have come to the show.
I guess. I guess.
I would have liked to seen her. I haven't seen her since the Enough's Enough Doc and Poison show a million years ago.
Yeah, what was that? 99 or 2000? That was 2000. 2000.
It's been probably that long since I've seen her.
Yeah, so it's been 12 years.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Seen her.
So it was my sister's birthday the next day, so I was able to be there for her birthday, and got to visit with my dad. He's getting up in years, and saw the ex and got to hang out, and obviously I hung out with you for a short amount of time that you remember, and so it wasn't a loss. I mean, it was a loss for the fans who wanted to tune in and listen to it live.
Yeah.
But overall, for me personally, no, it wasn't a loss at all.
All right. Well, that's good.
So there you go. Look at Dryan in the chat room. Chris would bang her.
Bang who?
Kelly.
Oh, well, I wasn't going to say her name, but
well,
okay.
I did.
All right. No, I like Kelly. I don't know that I like her that way. She was just always very nice to me.
Sure.
I mean, and obviously she was with you when I knew her, so obviously that was never even a thought. But,
right.
Nice girl.
Yeah, nice enough gal. Mm-hmm. So anyway, the show got kicked off, and the club was I wouldn't say it was full, but it was there was quite a crowd there.
Yeah, there was about 150, 200 people there.
And Billy, I haven't been to the club since we did the 13-year anniversary show back in January of, 2010?
Yeah.
Or 9? 9. And he has, I don't know how long he's been doing his quote-unquote his gourmet burgers.
Yeah, about 6 months.
Okay, so I chose to have the Iron Maiden burger. He's got a whole gourmet burger line over there that's named after heavy metal bands, the Black Sabbath burger and Iron Maiden burger and the Danzig burger, and they're all different. And I had the Iron Maiden burger, and it was awesome.
Yeah, you know what? I got to give it to Billy, and the chef. I don't remember what the guy's name is. I think it's Carl. Awesome burgers in that place. For those of you in town here, if you really want to just have a really good lunch, that's the place to go.
Yeah, I was very pleasantly surprised by that, and I enjoyed it, and it was just like, wow, that really hit the spot. So I had the Iron Maiden burger. Awesome.
Now, see, that's a good segue for me, because I ate breakfast that morning on Saturday morning. Stephanie came up to the house and we had breakfast, and that was the last I ate during the day.
Yeah, well, the last I ate was like around 10.
Yeah, but you weren't drinking two-fistedly throughout the whole night.
Copious amounts of alcohol.
I mean, I should have eaten at some point. I should have had one of those burgers to soak up some of that booze. Not that I think with the amount that I put in, it would have really affected that much, but it might have kept me, truthfully, it might have kept me from drinking as much as I've been full.
Sure.
But I didn't, so I filled up on alcohol.
Oh, nice.
And obviously, I was a little bit annoyed when the show started, and then those two fans, that lady and that guy from Detroit, came up. First, Billy came up, and Billy bought me and John a shot, for booking the show. And that got me rolling. So we started with a shot of Jaeger at like 7 o'clock. And then Billy takes me over to the bar, and he tells Evil Dave, the bartender, this guy's on the house tonight.
Right.
Big mistake.
Right.
Big, huge mistake, putting me on the house. So, I start off with a screwdriver, as I tend to do. And it never stopped. It never, ever stopped.
Well, obviously, after the start of the show, I basically lost track of you.
Yeah, I did.
I mean, you were busy with the bands. Either you were on stage, kind of yucking it up with the guys, or stepping in and sharing vocals, or you had the iPad out and were filming the show or taking pictures.
Yeah, well, actually, to be fair on that, I took 0 pictures that night. That was what I did, and boy, was this a mistake. I gave the iPad to Stephanie, and then there was the other girl, Erica, that was holding the beer bong when I was bonging the beers.
Yeah, see, I didn't even see that because I was at the other end of the club, so I didn't even see any of that.
Well, I gave it to those two, and I asked them to just take pictures throughout the night. I was like, just, take care of my iPad and, take pictures all night so we'll have pictures. So literally they took 550 pictures.
Wow. Well, that's a good thing you don't have to actually pay for celluloid film.
Right, exactly. But the problem was, of those 550 pictures, there's not a single photo of Voodoo-Brother.
Okay.
And there's not a single photo of you.
Right.
You're not in any photos.
No, because they were all up by the stage, and I was at the front of the club. So they were not, back at the broadcast area.
But that's not entirely true either, because there's photos of me with band guys at the broadcast.
Right. Well, it's really not about me anymore. 17 years of my life, this has nothing to do with me.
It was like, I'm looking through the pictures and I'm weeding through. I'm like, where the fuck is Neeley at this show?
He's not a part of this.
I was like, damn, not a single and then not a single picture of Voodoo-Brother, because I guess they were, those guys were all more Gatlin people. So,
sure.
They of course were just taking pictures of John. So MOL, send me that photo, by the way. But yeah, so what ended up happening was I started drinking very heavily.
Okay.
By the time Major League got on, which was right at like 9:20.
Yeah, they started pretty quick after things got rolling.
But not as quick as I did to start landing drinks in my gut. Because by the time they had me come up on stage to sing Talk Dirty to Me.
Right.
And by that time, I was already probably 5 drinks deep.
Okay.
I had just started slamming because, truthfully, I got a little bit of nervousness, about going up and singing. I don't know why, but, I got a little nerved up, so I started drinking hard. And then before I went on stage, they had me do that the beer bong thing. So I beer bonged 2 beers. And, yeah, by the time I ended up on stage, I was already loaded. To the fact that I couldn't, dude, I got up on stage to do stupid Talk Dirty to Me, a dumb, horrible song that I, listened to a million times. Couldn't remember one stupid word. I got on stage, didn't remember the words. I turned to John. I was like, what's the first line? He's like, fuck you, you're on your own.
Sound nice.
So I just started making up words, which turned out into this horrendously dirty version of Talk Dirty to Me.
Right.
And it just went downhill from there, man. I just kept on drinking. And, you know, the bands were thrilled. You know, they were just having fun. And, you know, everybody was definitely cool as far as the bands were concerned. But, man, I was pouring them down, and I was, you know, they kept inviting me to get up on stage, so you get that adrenaline rush going to go with it. You know, I literally, like you said, I sang with, I think I sang with all three bands.
Right.
I know that with Voodoo-Brother I played bass, and with Gatlin I played bass and drums, and faked my way through some guitar because it wasn't plugged in, and I didn't care.
Right.
So, you know, but yeah, I mean, the drinks never stopped.
Apparently.
And it was my birthday, and people were buying me drink after drink. I mean, MOL bought me a drink, and I think Jackal One bought me a drink, and you know, different guys in the bands were buying me drinks, and you know, different fans of the show were buying me drinks, and wow, the last thing I kind of remember. Because it all gets very blurry. I mean, I was good. I was okay. I was hammered, but I was okay during Voodoo-Brother. And, you know, they keep talking on here in the chat room about where's the acapella audio. And that was goofy all by itself because you had said to me, or we had worked out like 3 minutes for them to be ready.
Right.
And I had gotten them, the band had said they were okay. So I went up to the stage and I was just going to do, hey, it's Voodoo-Brother, blah, blah, you know, just what I always do. And sure enough, it's like 30 seconds before the song ends, and Kurt's like, oh, I'm having a problem with my bass. So fucking Jay, the singer of Voodoo-Brother, says to me, he goes, here, dude, sit on the stool and fill.
Phil.
Like, okay. So I look out, and Jay says on the microphone, how about a song? So I just broke out into Robin's song by Union. I don't know why I picked that song. It just sort of was there. And
it just popped into your head, and you knew the words, and you were comfortable with it, so you just let it go.
I just let it go, and then Joe, their guitar player, started strumming along.
Sure.
You know, as I'm singing this song, it's you know, it's a sappy divorce ballad, so I guess that's why it's in my head. But you know, I'm listening, or I'm singing this, and then they kick off and they start. And when I come off, Don, the guitar player from Gatlin, who's also a producer, comes out. He's like, dude, you can really sing. I was like, shut up.
Yeah, it actually was really good. So
Seriously?
Yeah, it was. You know, I thought it was part of the show. I had no idea you were just ad-libbing.
I was winging it just totally winging it. I'm just surprised that I was actually in tune or something.
Yeah, you just kind of let it fly, and I just thought it was part of the show. And I mean, I heard you up there, and I thought this was something you actually practiced with the band.
No.
You know, because, you know, obviously I was at the other end of the club, and I was just more or less listening. And we were piping the feed from the stage through the board, you know, on my end of the club. And it sounded like, you know, this was going to be the intro to the Voodoo-Brother set, you know. And I had no idea because I know you said you were working something out with them, and I thought this was it.
No.
I had no idea.
It was totally spur of the moment, and it was just whatever notes popped into my head, and I just started singing it until they were ready.
Sure.
When they were ready, I finished the song, and they kicked off.
Right.
But, yeah, it all went bad, though, in between Voodoo-Brother and Gatlin.
Yeah, I would say.
Because somewhere in there is when I really started getting hazy.
Right.
Like, and everything at that point on is very unclear to me. And literally, but I kept on drinking. I didn't stop. There's pictures of me during Gatlin's set with drinks. So I was still pouring drinks in at that point. And I was just like bombed at this point. And at some point, I ended up going up on stage, and John was telling me that I told him I was taking his bass. He's like, no, dude, you're going to break my bass. And I was like, I'm either going to break it by playing it, or I'm going to break it right now, yanking it off. And he's like, fine, dude, whatever. Here's the bass. And apparently I didn't hit anything with anybody's instruments or nothing, but I I'm in and out of consciousness at this point, to be perfectly honest. The last thing I remember of the entire night was I was sitting at the drum kit, and they were like trying to get me to play something, and I kept hitting. I was rimming out on his drums. I just kept hitting rims.
Right.
And I'm like, why can't I hit this fucking big fucking drum? I was just out of it, and then from there, this is where you're going to have to fill in from there, because the next thing I remember is I woke up at John and his brother AJ's place the next morning at like 9 in the morning.
Right.
And I have no knowledge of how all my shit got in my car, how I got to AJ and John's place, nothing.
Right.
Seeing you leave, nothing. I apparently I was a fucking monumental douche on the microphone after Gatlin played.
You think?
I don't remember. I honestly, I swear to God, this is not a work or a bit. I don't remember. I literally don't remember shit until 9:30 the next morning when I got up.
Right. Well, basically, at this point, because, I wasn't with you through that whole time that you just talked about.
Yeah.
I was at the broadcast table pretty much the entire time. I walked up to the stage just one time during Voodoo-Brother's set.
Okay.
Just to kind of scope out the scene a little bit. Then I went back.
Right.
And I was talking to Chantel and talking to my friend Marty and talked to Chipper and talked to MOL, and, people were hanging out. Well, between Voodoo-Brother and Gatlin, you came back to the broadcast table, and I could clearly tell you were pretty lit up.
Okay.
And you started grabbing some of the girls that were sitting at the bar near the Classic Metal Show broadcast table.
All right.
Now, there's a sort of this thing going on with, it's sort of a trend. I see this more and more. There's a lot of these girls out there that are doing this whole retro pinup girl look.
Yeah, sure.
And they got these tattoos and everything going on, but they got this 50s pinup girl look thing going on.
Right.
Hail and Kill, caller. You're on the air.
Hail and Kill. Oh, we can tell you what went on between Voodoo-Brother and Gatlin's set. Chris, I remember it pretty well.
All right.
You, first of all, were trying to... What happened was one of the chicks you were talking to, quote-unquote, happened to be one of the band members' cousins, and you said something about, come on, haven't you ever thought of, or something to the effect of, you wouldn't suck it, So you made an incest joke.
Oh, God. I have not heard this yet. Okay. All right.
I didn't help matters because I was on the microphone at this point, too. And I made some connotation to, if I had a hot cousin, I'd let her give me a BJ. So that happened.
Wow.
Yeah. You had that smoking hot girl that was there. And you just totally turned her against you when we both... Well, I didn't help matters because I was just standing off to the side and pulling the mic away at certain times, implying things, and letting you go in on those.
All right.
You remember the girl that was basically we were implying was a groupie?
Brother, I don't remember any of this.
Okay, there was this really hot girl. What was her name? Jess?
Jess.
And she was kind of the real dark-skinned girl, right?
Yes.
Oh, okay. I remember her.
Well, you pretty much implied that she was a band whore. And I'm not saying in any nicer word. When I'm saying implied, you basically called her a band whore. And went descriptive about it.
Very descriptive.
In
Very
what way? What did I
descriptive.
say? Come on
Well,
now.
I mean, if you really want to get graphic about it, you were basically saying that, she works at the club and that Billy has various bands come to the club, and who was the hottest band member that she wanted to take downstairs and bang, and how many of them have you let come on her back?
Oh, my God.
And all, you were really going off on very graphic detail.
And she took
when
it, or
she
did
was
she leave
Oh,
it?
no,
denying
she
this, I
took
took
it, but I
took
don't-
the mic from her and said, "Hey, 6 Feet Under was here last night, weren't they?" And at that point, the look on her face, she looked at you, and it was a deer in headlights. She knew that it was a deer in the headlights of a huge 18-wheeler Mack fucking truck speeding down the freeway at her.
Wow.
And you just took it and ran her down. That was great. I think your words were,
That was
"Did
great.
you have Chris Barnes' sweaty dreadlocks all over your titties last night?"
Oh, no.
Greatest. Oh no! Don't apologize. This was great. This was great.
Was it great, Neely?
I wasn't so thrilled with it, but,
The look on Neely's face was he just. Neely had a look the whole night of watching, like he was watching
Ears
Holocaust
go up in
footage.
flames in one night.
I was watching you self-destruct is what I was doing.
Wow.
I wasn't helping matters. I was pouring drinks down your gullet as well.
Yeah, you bought
So I wasn't helping matters at all. In fact, I was kind of standing off to the side of the stage, grabbing the mic every once in a while and helping out. So I take responsibility for my part.
Thank you.
But I got to tell you, that was some of the greatest car crash radio ever.
Car crash radio.
That was comedy fucking gold. It was great.
Well, I'm glad I could entertain you.
Hey, here's what happened. At the end of the night, they were basically like, "Get the fuck out." At 2:50, they're like, "Okay, everybody, we're not." I think they, instead of 2:30 as their last call, they moved it up to 2:15 because of that break. That break alone, they bypassed that last 15-minute rush of getting of money for alcohol.
Just to get
Just
us
to
out.
get us the fuck out of there. They literally were rushing you guys and everyone out of the club at that point.
I really don't remember any of this.
And it was great. It was probably great. I mean it wasn't probably, it was great. I mean, we might not be back there anytime soon.
Billy was fine. I talked to Billy Monday. He's fine.
Okay, good. But yeah, that it was quite a night, and I thought it was just delightful. I loved it.
Delightful.
Delightful.
But then again, you know me, and you know my sense of humor. So there's that.
Well, all I know is that I spent a good portion of this week apologizing to people for shit I don't remember doing.
Didn't you used to do that when you were on the CMS initially?
What, apologize to people?
Well, I mean, I imagine you probably had to do that several times. I mean, we did do the
many.
Doro Passanati thing. I mean,
Doro was one. And did we apologize to anybody else, Neely? Honestly.
Not that I'm aware of.
we
I
didn't do
don't-
Keeneman. You guys didn't do Keeneman?
No.
No.
What am I saying?
Not.
Uh,
We stand by what we said there. No.
Yeah,
No, I mean, I heard the stuff about looking the 14-year-old in the eye and asking her if she knew she was fuckable.
Shit, they ran her out of the club at that moment. It was she grabbed and they ran her out of the club. They ushered her out. Literally, this was the most comical thing I saw all night. Was after that was and there they go out the front door.
Yeah. And then, of course, I'll share a little bit of behind-the-scenes stuff. That, of course, was my friend Don, who's a guitar player from Gatlin's cousin. And so I called Don this week, and I was, like, totally apologetic. And of course, Don is like, dude, it's okay, I know that's your radio personality, and, it's fine. I was like, dude, really, it's not fine, I appreciate that you're willing to let me off the hook, but don't on this. Let me say I'm sorry.
But I even think with that Jess chick and all those, there was, on the inside, they were cracking up. I mean, I think everyone has that little bit of just sick sense of humor that, yeah.
Is that the vibe you got, Neeley?
No, I did not get that vibe.
You don't think she appreciated the humor of it?
Oh, no. Jess, that girl with the short hair, or whatever, the little seam haircut. Oh, she wanted to kill you. She pretended you guys made nice. Everything's all right. But the look she gave you walking away, like a doll's eyes, rolled back into their head. No, it was just fucking horrible, though. It was
One minute it's delightful, the next minute it's just fucking horrible.
No, it was, because she's all trying to make nice, that trying to keep that front, like, because I was watching this from across the bar. I was, ordering another Jack and Coke at this point, and I'm watching this go down because I think Jim was right next to me, and I'm looking at, and I was pointing, see this? Look at the look she's giving him as he walks away. And as you staggered away, snap, the look on her face, it looked like she was like, if she had a death stare at
Do you
that
have
point.
the photo?
She had a 1,000-yard fucking stare.
Do you have a photo?
Oh, no.
I wish you had a photo.
I'd like to have a photo of her sucking someone's dick.
Jesus Christ.
But yeah, that's neither here nor there. So, but yeah, I'm gonna let you get off the phone, or I'm gonna get off the phone because I was pretty drunk and high myself. Pretty much, I was either outside getting stoned or inside getting drunk that whole night. So, hail and kill, fuck you, pal. Hands up.
So anyway,
I don't remember. I swear to God, I do not remember any of this.
So there was a couple of girls, one of the gals that was working behind the bar, to answer Steve Jackson's question in the chat room about me not digging the 50s pinup look. I'm a very big fan of that. I got that kind of art in my house.
Yeah, sure you do. A lot of it.
A lot of it. So, hail and kill, caller. You're on the air.
Hey, guys. It's Chipper.
Hey, Chipper.
Hey, just to add a little bit to MOL story. The whole, 10, 15 minutes that Chris went on about how many A-list band members that Jess Chick has ever done, including Nick Mars and Kip Winger and Janie Lane, was pretty awesome. But how many times she's
Janie Lane? Oh, God.
Yes, you did.
and then Neeley, I don't remember if you remember this. There was a woman that was sitting at the bar, and when Chris started going off on her about the whole Mick Mars thing, came up to you and said something to you and gave you such the dirtiest look, and you just nodded your head. And she came walking back to you, just like so pissed.
She walked up to me and she said to me, "I want to compliment you on your classiness to not be involved in this derogatory degrading of the women here. I just wanted to say thank you for that."
I mean, Chris, man, I gotta say that was one of the more interesting interviews I've ever heard you do, and just the look on the girl's face. But how many times have you let a band member, someone that jizz on your back, and you like that on your back and all that stuff? Oh, it was just priceless.
I'm so proud that I did such a good interview.
But hey, it was a great time, man. Glad to meet you guys again. I hope to see you guys again sometime soon.
All right, man.
Hail
Bye.
Hand job.
Good job. All right.
So anyway, getting back to what I was saying,
Yeah.
the one gal that was working there, I don't remember her name, but you basically grabbed her out from behind the bar.
Really?
And you had to, Yeah, well, yeah, you had to interview her, you know, and you're yelling at Dave behind the bar. Is it okay if she comes out here? It's okay if she comes out here, you know, and then you were literally screaming at the club over the microphone. Turn the fuck over here. Everybody, look over here. Stop buying drinks. Stop talking to your friends. Everybody, look over here. Is this the hottest chick you've ever seen? And then you asked her, how many guys have you let come on your back? So it was just, you know, and getting back to what Chipper said or MOL said about the gal getting up from the bar and coming over to talk to me.
Yeah.
Because at this point, I was just done. I was just like, there's nothing I can do here. And she came up and she said, you know, what she said. She said, thanks for, you know, your classy, reserved, and not being a part of this.
Right.
You know, so it just went on from there, and then finally Gatlin took the stage, thank God. And you and your entourage went up to the stage area, so things kind of calmed down back in the main room.
Oh, boy.
But then after Gatlin was off, then things really tore loose after that.
Why? What? There's more?
Well, it was the whole, you know, the cousins or the nieces of your friend.
Yeah.
That were 14, and obviously you didn't know their ages, and then you were really, really talking pretty bad with them, and your friend John was grabbing me. Dude, would you do anything you have to do to stop him? Those girls are underage. Stop him.
Oh, shit.
So basically, I went up there next to you and basically unplugged your mic. I unplugged your mic and I said, well, we're going to close the show out. And I played LA Guns, It's Over Now. And that's pretty much where it ended. That's where it wrapped up.
Oh, Jesus.
And they basically shuffled those gals out of the club quickly.
Wow.
But your friend John was just about having a heart attack. He said, those girls are underage. Get him to shut up. Do whatever you have to do. Shut the equipment off.
Oh my God, dude. And it's so bad because I'm really tight with Don's sister and Don's family. And it's like, oh my God, when I'm hearing this, I'm like, oh, what the fuck? But I could not have known that they were.
Well, it was obviously you didn't know.
I didn't know.
You know, and you know, your friend was just like, dude, those girls are underage. Just shut him up. Do whatever you got to do. Pull the plug. Stop him.
Oh boy. Yeah.
And then as the procession of your friends and whatnot were filtering through the club as they were doing breakdown of the equipment, it was, I'm sorry, Neeley. I'm really sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Your friend Steph must have apologized to me at least a dozen times. So why are you apologizing to me? Oh, well, you came all this way, and we didn't know he was going to be this way, and yeah, you know, on and on and on. I was just like, you know what? This is. Why are you apologizing to me? So.
Stephanie's a good girl.
Yeah, so you know, your friend your John apologized, and Steph apologized, and your friends from Voodoo-brother apologized, and everybody was apologizing to me, you know, and it's just like, dude, it's not your place to apologize for anything.
Yeah, it's my place, and boy, all I say is sorry, dude.
So everybody was very apologetic.
Wow. All I know is that the last thing I swear I remember is I was, and I'm in and out at this point, but I remember being on stage behind the drum kit for Gatlin.
Yeah.
And I woke up in the morning and was like, where the fuck am I? You know, and then I figured out where I was, and then I went and took a walk outside to get some air, looking for my car, which was nowhere to be found.
Right.
You know, I was like, what the fuck happened? And meanwhile, you know, if you want to get the actual sensible fear that hit into my head is like, you know, because I had to bring my equipment because you didn't have your laptop.
Right.
That's like my business.
Right, absolutely.
That's my day job.
Right. Well, I made sure all of your equipment was with you.
Did you pack it all up?
Oh, yeah, I packed it all up.
I don't remember shit.
Yeah, I broke down the table, packed up all the broadcast gear, loaded my car, packed up your stuff, took it to your friend who took you home to his home, and gave him all your stuff.
Right. I don't remember
and
shit.
I did a quick walk through the club and made sure nothing was left behind and made sure you had all your pieces, parts to your Mac and your laptop bag and, everything.
Oh, man. Oh, wow.
So everybody took care of you.
I know. Everybody had to because I was out of it. Out of it in a way that I do not want to get to.
Right.
Ooh, boy, that was not good. But everybody seems to have had a good time.
Yeah, well, people were enjoying themselves. I mean, it wasn't like I said, it was not a fiasco or total loss. It was just, by the time you were pretty much 6 sheets to the wind, that's where things just went wrong.
And that was early, sadly.
Yeah.
Oh well, next show.
Well, somebody left a voicemail, and this is definitely to you.
Right.
Just like within the last 10 minutes.
Let's hear.
Hey, motherfuckers. Yeah, you know who this is? This is Big Black. Yeah. I'm friends with, Metal Jim. You know? I want to make a request now. I want to hear some, I can't hear anything, motherfucker, so play anything. Yeah, man. Hey, you know where Tommy Chong is, man? Hold on, I'll get it for you. Hey, man. Tommy Chong here, man. Yeah, I'm just hanging out. Yeah, Tommy Chong back with you. Yeah, man. I left Cheech to do my single. Yeah, I'm solo now, man. Yeah, okay, hold on, man. Yeah, that's Tommy Chong for you, man. Yeah, so, hail and kill and fuck you, pal, over there. Yeah, and I listen to the CMS Radio Network on Saturday nights from 9 p.m. to 3 a.m. with my friends Chris and Neeley. Yeah, Chris had 400 pounds and he lost 100 pounds down to 300. Good job, brother. And fuck you, pal, and head job. Yeah, man. Head job.
Thanks for calling.
I don't know what that was all about.
I don't get it.
Somebody who's following your weight loss.
Well, good. There's a lot of people doing that.
Yeah, apparently. So anyway, that kind of caps the night.
Yeah. Well, you want to know what happened the next day?
Tell me. I want to know what the blowback was now.
Well, on Sunday, none. Because literally, by the time I got myself awake and alive and we went and got some breakfast so that I could, function.
Sure.
I went and picked up my car back out in Lakewood at about 2. Got my car, we picked up my car about 1, and I got home about 2. Passed out immediately until 9 o'clock at night.
Well, I spoke with you briefly Sunday afternoon.
Yeah, it was right before I went to bed.
About 1 o'clock. It was about 1 o'clock.
That was right when I was driving home. And I was just a mess. I mean, just dying. And I literally got home at 2, slept till 9, got up for 15 minutes because I have a little work thing that I have to do on Sunday nights.
Okay.
Takes 10 minutes. Went back to bed, didn't get up till 11 o'clock the next morning.
Nice.
I slept for 20 some hours.
Wow.
I was just out of it, dude. And all day Monday I felt sick. It was I think there might have been some food poisoning or alcohol poisoning.
Oh, I'm sure there was. If you consumed as much as you said you consumed, I don't have any doubt about that.
It was a monstrous amount. So But yeah, that the blowback was, you know what, everybody was cool. I mean, I heard a lot of these stories, like similar stories to what we're talking about here from different people. John obviously called me and busted my chops, and Stephanie busted my chops, and my friend Don called me and busted my chops.
Right.
And, you know, I took some heat for it, and that's okay. You know, look, as we always say on the show, it's like, you know what, we don't hide nothing. You know, is what it was. We're not hiding from this. We could have easily just not talked about it.
Right.
And, you know, look, I fucking got hammered. It was my birthday, and I got fucking out of control. It happens.
Sure it does.
But, you know, thankfully no fights broke out or anything. Thankfully I didn't insult somebody that had a boyfriend and then start fighting or anything like that. So, you know, or maybe they did and they just didn't want to deal with it. I don't even know. I have no clue. But
well, I didn't see any hostilities brewing at all, so...
Yeah, I mean, from what everybody has told me that was there, you know, friends and whatnot, everybody had a great time, you know, except for you. But from what I understand, everybody seemingly had a great time and they enjoyed the bands, and they, even MOL, you know, no matter how heinous I was, everybody seemed to fucking sort of get it. Yes. Whatever, it happens, you know. Exactly, I did an astronomy. I'm looking at Kurgan with the astronomy reference, and that's absolutely true. I was absolutely John Astronomy.
Right.
Very good, and I'll take the fucking walk of shame for lowering myself to that level.
Right.
Ugh.
Look at Chipper. Neeley looked good for almost being 50.
Want to date Chipper?
Almost.
I gotta send you this photo right now, real quick.
I'll be 49 on Christmas.
Yeah, and you'll be not opening presents until New Year's. 2023. You got your phone on you?
Yeah, I sure do.
I'm gonna send you this photo right now of Stephanie and you.
Okay.
I sent it to her, and she's automatically commenting about her boob fat.
Her boob fat?
Yeah, because it's the picture of her in the CMS shirt that you gave.
Okay, I didn't see any boob fat going on there, but okay.
Yeah,
I tossed her a shirt because she was so diligent in taking care of business and you and pictures and running back and forth and carrying on and so on and so forth. Okay, I'm looking at this picture. Yep.
It's boob fat. That's what I like.
I'm not seeing boob fat. I'm just not seeing it.
No, I'm seeing nice boobs.
I'm not seeing any of that, so not really sure what she's talking about. But, yeah, nice picture.
She's a good-looking girl. Jesus Christ. Turning it off.
So there's the recap of what you missed on the Classic Metal Show last week.
And for those that are asking where the audio is, God knows. It might be on the computer. I can't find it.
I know it's on the computer. I actually saw the wave. So it's
saved?
Huh?
Did you see it saved?
Yes, it's saved. It's there.
We just got to find it. I'll find it somewhere. I know it's there somewhere, but
well, the unfortunate part is, and I don't even want to get, well, whatever. The unfortunate part is the first file.
Yeah.
It's not named anything. That's the problem.
It just has a blank.
Yeah,
so
it's a blank name. It's a wave, and it's not named anything.
I'll find it.
So.
But yeah, there may or may not. If truth be told, if I can recover the audio, I will put it up in its entirety. I won't edit it. You know what? I mean, that's what we do. We do not fucking hide, no matter what. And I don't think. I mean, you'll have to tell me, but I don't think we said anything, or I said anything illegal, did I?
No, I don't think so. You were just being pretty raw with some of the girls that were hanging around the bar area.
Raw does not mean illegal. So
no, it was very raw. That's all I can say. Very raw and derogatory.
Yeah. Well, sorry, sorry everybody, but I had a good time.
Yes, you did.
I don't regret a damn thing, really, other than I guess hitting on 14-year-olds. But
right.
I don't know if I was hitting on them, but
no. You were just you weren't hitting on them. You were just asking them very inappropriate questions. For someone in their 40s asking a 14-year-old or 15-year-old some very very adult-like questions,
Boy.
unknowingly that they were 14 or 15 years old.
Oh, well. Sorry, Don.
I mean, that's how I looked at it. I don't look at it as being, just malicious. I just think that it was due to your state, your mental state, or your lack of consciousness.
Yeah, exactly.
That you realized who you were even speaking with.
No, I definitely didn't. I mean, I really didn't until people started telling me it. And I was like, holy shit, really?
Yeah.
Oh, well, it happens.
So there you go. That's how Chris spent his 44th birthday.
Yes, hammered.
And boy, what a birthday it was.
It was. It was fun. 3 birthday parties. All 3 were pretty good in their own way.
Right. So, all right, dude. Well, let's jump into some tunage here. Let's refuel and let's come back and we'll do some other stuff.
All right. I definitely want to do the one that I sent you audio for.
Yeah, I got it. I got it downloaded. So
we'll have fun with that, I think. And it might suck. I don't know, but we'll see.
Okay. All right. Well, since Chris was on fire last week, I thought I'd play something from the new Snoo release. What's
All right.
It to Ya?
Right.
And I thought I'd play their first track, or their first single, I should say.
Okay.
Pull My Stinger.
All right. That's clearly what I was looking for.
Right. All right. Well, it's Snoo exclusively here
On your classic metal show.